All right, guys. After a very small hiatus, welcome back to the Sooner Storm podcast. Ready to dive right back in. Big game last week. Great reset game against Maine. A big time Sooner win. A lot of guys balled out in that game, and it was a much needed kind of reset for our boys. Especially going into the game this week against Missouri. So today we're going to look at a lot of different things. Obviously, preview the game against Missouri on Saturday. Possible getting some guys back. Injury update
Yes,
list
sir.
kind of looking a little bit optimistic.
It's looking better.
It's looking a lot better, and just kind of dive right into kind of this last little push of the season here. Just guys, opening thoughts on last week's win against Maine. Maybe the importance of it. Uh,
Yeah, so
Thoughts.
I'll go ahead and kick it off. I think that the biggest thing last week was creating that momentum going into this Missouri game, getting the confidence back, with the offense. Defense played other than the first drive. I
Mhm.
mean, they played great as expected against Maine. Javante Barnes balled out. Um, I know right now he's questionable. Uh, I'll be honest, I expect him to be there. I expect him to. I really don't see a game against Missouri when he got hurt in the first half, hurt, and then he kept. I mean, he kept dealing last week, but no, Jackson Arnold played great. A lot of confidence. Offensive line looked better. It was caveat against Maine still, but we did what we should, and that's the biggest thing because there's a lot of teams that play teams that you should go out there and throttle, and they just don't. We see it all the time. They did what they were supposed to. It was a good win, a good way to get the confidence back.
Yeah, I now see why the SEC has this fluff game
Oh
in the
yeah.
season. It's kind of nice because we definitely needed it. And like, man, I watched that game and I didn't feel like we did, everything right. I still feel like Jackson Arnold missed a few passes, but I feel like the confidence we grew in confidence at least, and I think that if we can push that over to Missouri, I think we'll do a whole lot better this week than we had in the prior weeks. Just not having that confidence.
Hey,
So
Lane, do you have that injury report in front of you?
I can, yeah.
I've got it right here.
Okay. How is what's it say about Brady Cook?
Oh, you mean Missouri? I was just looking that up to see, kind of what the thought on that was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our list
Yeah,
is too long and doesn't show theirs.
It doesn't even show theirs.
yeah, theirs hasn't came
Um,
out. Well, yesterday when it was first released yesterday, Brady Cook was questionable. To be honest, I don't a knock on wood. I'm not too worried about him. The two defenses that he's played that are actually pretty decent um have made I mean they haven't been able to do anything. Alabama couldn't even score a touchdown, and A&M what they get like 10. So I mean, as long as the defense performs, I mean, we should handle business on the offense or on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
Um, and then as for if it's their backup in, I mean, that's the ideal situation. I mean, anybody's going to say that unless their backup's just a baller. But I mean, what I seen against Alabama, I mean, it didn't look like they were.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
uh,
we're not Alabama this year. So, um,
Alabama doesn't have amazing defense this year. Let's just
I mean, they don't.
they have a good defense. They have a good defense. It's not amazing. And I'm not saying ours is amazing. I think later as the later we got in the year here, um, maybe we lost a little bit of juice. Uh,
I know some guys that haven't, but yeah, they're
yeah,
definitely. It's hard to
it's
it's hard
hard
to
to
stay
keep that week
motivated.
after week, man. But What were you gonna say, JB?
Just Brady Cook obviously is, he's been one of the best players in the game the last couple of years, just from a, stat standpoint, quarterback position wise. Good player, really good player, does really good in their offense.
I
It,
respect you giving him the
it,
props.
I mean,
I don't think I.
he's a good player. He's a really good player. They do a lot of good things. I mean, and if he tweaked the ankle against Auburn a few weeks ago, right? Tweaks the ankle, kind of gets a little banged up there, plays through it. Last week against Alabama in the first half hurts the throwing hand.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. Like I said, we don't have the injury report on him, so it'd be interesting to see if he does play. If he does play, obviously, that gives Missouri a better shot. If he doesn't play, that gives obviously us a better chance because I mean I don't know who their backup is. He's not Brady Cook, so
To be honest, if
um,
Brady played in the first quarter, and hypothetically he's not healthy, he's not 100%.
I mean it'd be better.
That might be an ideal scenario
It'd
for
be
us.
better for us. It'll
Yeah,
be interesting to see it.
They still got some good guys on the edge though.
they do.
They
Luke
do. They
Burton,
do. I
he's
mean,
good, but I do feel like as far as like all the teams that we've played so far, I feel like at least our corners match up with these guys a little bit better because they're not really big guys. I know at least Burton's not a really big guy.
not a
Um,
big guy, but he plays a lot bigger than
he
he is.
he plays big, but I mean, I'm just hoping that we got guys that will play bigger. I don't know.
Leading receiver for Missouri. Any guesses?
Theo
Any?
Weiss Jr.
Yeah, good old boy Theo Weiss, former
And you
Sooner.
know, man, I love Theo Weiss when he was in Norman, but I
Yeah.
mean, things happen, and would we love to have him this year? Absolutely. But best of luck to him for the rest of the year, except for this game. So,
Honestly,
37.
I best of luck to him, but not best of luck to Missouri. I really
Uh,
just I can't stand him. So uh
I just have this, I don't, I mean, it's not that I just never liked Missouri, and that's just the OU fan in me not liking Missouri, but I don't really care for their head coach. I think Drinkowitz sometimes can just be a little bit, I don't know. He just to me rubs me the wrong way sometimes, but I mean that is what it is. Anyway, I mean, uh Missouri's
why
good.
your camera went off, bud.
What in the world? Earth to Lane, hello.
Well, anyways, let's keep going.
Technical difficulties, I guess.
Yeah, tell me
Um,
about it.
anyway, Missouri, really, they're a good football team. Obviously, I watched them against Texas A&M earlier in the year at Kyle Field. They got absolutely blasted in that game. You remember it?
Oh
Uh,
yeah, it was
but
embarrassing.
I mean, they're still a good team. We're gonna have to be really sharp on both, offensive and defensive sides of the ball. Defensively, we give up about, I think we're averaging about giving up 217 yards in the air every game, probably. So Missouri likes to go to the air. So we're gonna have to be sharp, in the secondary, against, against guys like Burton, against guys like Theo Weiss. Um, you know, so and anytime you go up there to Missouri and play up there at their stadium, that's a tough place to play. It's a tough place to go get a win, especially if you're OU because that's a big time rivalry game. So it'll be
Is it?
they don't they don't have nearly the stadium though that others
they've
do
done a
in the
lot of
SEC.
they've done a lot of upgrades since
It's like they got like 62,000 capacity, but they have
it's
they can get loud.
they can get real loud. It'll
Yeah,
be a hostile environment.
it's gonna be so hot
It's a
hostile.
7:45 kick on the SEC network, so it'll be a late night game. It'll be a tough game. We're gonna have to be really sharp. But again, it'll be interesting to see if Brady Cook plays. If he does play, that gives Missouri a better shot to win the game. But it'll just be interesting to see if he's, what percentage, like you said, Connor, what percentage he's at. If he's,
Yeah.
he can't be 100. There's no way he's 100%. So,
No, he's not gonna be 100 because I mean,
so
one, he's still listed as questionable.
yeah.
And like we said, ideal scenario, he comes in first half, he's still hurt, he makes quite a bit of mistakes, and we get the momentum early.
Yeah,
This
that's
is, I mean, we're going to talk about the things that you know have to go right here. And one
going
of the
back.
things, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Going back to the main game, I never said anything. I mean, I agree totally with Lane. This kind of middle of this. It's nice to have that middle of the season kind
Oh
of
yeah,
kind of I called it a refresh, reset game kind of thing. Like when your schedule maybe is not going the way you want it to, and you're playing tough game after tough game, week after week after week, which is the SEC.
yeah,
But it's
and
nice to have that game kind of sprinkled in there where you can, get right. You can
Mhm.
and one
just
of the
work on
things
stuff.
we didn't have a we didn't do one last week just because everybody was, we were all hit and miss. But we I was really pleased to see how we played against Ole Miss in the first half.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
felt
yeah.
like an upward trajectory.
Probably
And
one of the
then
better first halves we played all year against
oh,
it. Yeah.
100%. I
Yeah.
mean, it might have been the best
Complete,
first half.
like a complete
Yeah,
first half.
from both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
And to carry the momentum from there to the main game, I expect us, especially with some playmakers back, Dion and Farouk listed as probable.
Yeah.
Uh, with those playmakers back, giving Arnold more opportunity to find his receivers in open space. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm really optimistic
Yeah. Sure.
to the momentum carrying over into this week.
Yeah, one
Let's
thing we need
go
though,
ahead.
I was just gonna say one thing we need is I mean, uh sure he might have those guys back and might be able to throw to some more guys, but I mean, we've got to have a little bit of protection and seeing Sexton and Jake Taylor out, I mean, it's gonna be
Hey,
rough, but maybe we can get some younger guys in there. I don't know if
they
EPL
will. They
Get some
will.
young things in
get a
there.
little push, but
Yeah, some of the young guys, Venables did mention that they will redshirt this year, so they can play four games.
Yeah.
They can play four complete games. This last stretch, especially with the lack of depth that we have right now, since quite a bit of injuries on the offensive line, I expect to see several of them get a lot of snaps this week.
Sure.
yeah, well, I mean, do we know how many they've played yet? I mean,
Eddie has only played.
I know he's played at least two. Or he's played in at least two, and like I think you just have to play one snap, right? Or how much do you have to play? I don't.
I'm not completely sure. Regardless, he has several. He at least has two games that he can play. I mean, and we only have three games left, so I expect him to see, especially with the injury report, seeing how many guys were out on the offensive line. They're gonna have to. I mean,
I, yeah, I know
and
our
and
offensive line looks like I mean has been struggling all year, but and I got some high hopes for the guys that are coming up. They look
yeah,
pretty, they look pretty solid, and just give them a little
especially
bit of time. I think it'll be.
especially if we can hold on to Fasusi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, it's gonna be hard, but yeah, I feel like he's a kid of like he takes what his word to heart, and I feel like as
yeah.
long as as long as we're still good to him, I think he'll be good to us. So
Yeah. Going back to what you guys said about the red shirt rule, if you take the field in a game, then you
yeah,
played in the game. So
So
if
he's played two
yeah,
games.
so if you
Okay.
as soon as you play a snap,
yeah.
then that's a game. So like Connor said, they get four. So I mean, it's great
Or you
experience
might as
for
well use them.
yeah, you get four. It's great experience for young guys to get in there and to get some really
Yeah,
good quality reps and
And
Just
Eddie,
we got some defensive backs that I think we're gonna try to redshirt as well, like Boganowski and Powers. I'm assuming they'll redshirt them, but they look,
man, I don't know. Boganowski, I feel like has seen the field quite a bit.
dude.
Especially, I mean, he's on the special teams units.
I'm not
Okay,
gonna lie,
well,
we play so many guys in the secondary, I lose track of all of them, to
Me
be honest.
too.
that's
Like
true. It's true.
every series you look back there and it's like, wait a minute, who was that cornerback right there? Who played
This
nickel?
past week, This past week was the first time seeing old Danny back there. Gosh,
Okoye.
Boye.
Okoye, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, he got a crazy penalty, but it's fine. I mean, he was just playing rough.
yeah.
Yeah. Same with
It'll
Eddie.
be,
I mean, when
it'll be
he
interesting.
pancaked that one kid
Yeah.
from Maine.
He didn't know the
Um,
play was done. I mean,
I mean, I loved it. I don't care.
It was an effort play. It was an effort play.
I'm perfectly fine with it. So,
I'm with it.
yeah.
Uh, Connor mentions obviously big news. We have two probables next this game. Jalil Farooq, Dion Burks,
Big probables. Big
big
time.
probables, big time. So that's big time. It gives us like you said, gives Jackson Earl some more targets to throw to, along with JJ Hester and along with Jacob Jordan and some other guys. So it'd be really, to get those guys back would be huge. Like Lane said, still got to have protection up front, which we've struggled with mightily all year, but I feel like it's getting better. I feel like as we're getting games in, I feel like it's getting better at times. I mean, obviously at times it feels like we're taking backslides and going, giving up 4 or 5 here or there. But uh,
First half against Ole Miss
yeah, great, great.
was
Second
it
half,
was good. Yeah.
atrocious.
Second
Second
half
half,
was terrible.
terrible. Um, some other names on there. Javante Barnes, like you said, questionable. Rolled the ankle last week. He'll be fine. He'll
I
play.
think he'll be fine.
I'm no doubt about it. Sawchuck still questionable. He
Hasn't done a whole lot this
hadn't
year
done a whole lot
anyways.
this year anyway, and he's
I
been.
would love where's Caleb Hicks been?
That's a really good
Why
question.
didn't we he see the field last week?
I don't
Coaches know more than we do.
It's a good question.
I don't know, but where's Caleb Hicks?
It's a
He
good
hadn't seen the
question.
field in 2 years, so I mean,
It's a good
I
question.
expect
Uh, you know,
something's going on off the field, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
it's gonna be a
Hey,
good game. It's
I'll tell
gonna be
you,
a good game.
I'll tell you who I was impressed with, old Xavier Robinson. Kid's
Oh
pretty good.
yeah, 100%.
Kid's pretty good. I think, get another year in him, and he'll be pretty
And
good.
David Stone, he got awarded the PFF true freshman defensive tackle, or he was the highest graded true freshman defensive tackle this week.
Yeah.
I mean, we played Maine, but David Stone had man, he's got such a bright future. Uh, I mean, coming out of high school, the number one defensive tackle in the nation. Um, I mean, I'm I expect a lot of those guys, man. The offseason chatter with Missouri, this has been
Mm.
circled on the schedule all year, and
There's at least two
I
guys on there that I know that some guys are wanting to get at. So
oh yeah, I think it's gonna be chippy, man. I think it's gonna
Oh,
be chippy.
I
yeah.
don't know. Do those guys even play?
Which are you talking, Caden Green?
I'm talking about Green, yeah, and
I don't know if he's gonna play. I think it would be. I think he's. I think they put him out there this week just because it probably means a little bit more. Uh, and I mean, but with his, I mean, he hasn't really performed a whole lot for them this year. I mean, he's been benched several times now, which is unfortunate because we could have really used him. He did a great job last year under Biedenbaugh. Um, but no, there's a few guys talking, but I expect it to be chippy, and I want it to be chippy, man. But let hopefully the yellow flags don't fly on our side.
what about what's his name? Williams, uh,
Williams Nawari.
Nawari. Yeah, I was gonna butcher his name.
Uh,
I haven't
I
really seen
don't.
him play a
I was
whole
gonna
lot.
say shove him in the dirt, but I don't know if we got anybody that can.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Maybe Eddie. Maybe Eddie.
I wish those two guys would. I mean, Green. I wish he was still at OU, and I wish we would have got Nawari. But I mean, it is what it is. I'm happy with the guys that we got,
I
but
don't care.
I mean, yeah, I don't. I'm
I
just
mean,
saying.
if they want to be a
Ideally,
Sooner,
I thought
then
they
be
were.
Sooner.
Ideally, I thought that Green was pretty decent last year and could have been better if Being
Sometimes,
beating ball for another year.
man, especially when you're 19, 20 years old,
But
um, somebody starts, throwing some money in your face.
hey, you gotta chase that,
Uh,
I guess.
yeah, especially, you know, when you're not even in the portal yet, people are throwing money at you. Uh, you know,
Yeah, there's no tampering in college football. There's no tampering.
yeah, you're right. So guys, let's go ahead and talk about some of the things that we need to see this week, this weekend on Saturday, the things that need to go right to win this game.
Okay. We need to control the ball again.
I
We
mean,
need
they're the
to
basics.
cash in on turnovers. We need to get turnovers. And offensive line needs to play decent, and we need some guys back. We need to have momentum
Week after week, I feel like we give the same breakdown.
because
Um,
that's the recipe of success.
it is. I mean, it
Right?
is.
Control the ball, turnovers, and score on turnovers.
Yeah. Let's
I
get a
mean,
coaching. Let's get a coach's perspective here.
JB's a coach.
Yeah,
Tell
let's get the
let,
coach. Let's get to
here.
Coach Bradbury.
You know, like I said, Brady Cook plays, or if he doesn't play, be interesting to see that. If he does play, obviously that's more of a threat in the passing game. Missouri can run the ball, guys. They
No,
can
they can. I
they
mean, they
can
got a
they can
good
run the
back.
ball. Obviously, the big time matchup that everybody's gonna be looking for is Danny Stutzman against those two running backs that they've got. His ability to kind of shed blocks, plug the gaps, tackle the run game. Obviously, our run defense is probably the strength of our defense. It has been all year long. It's going to continue to probably be that way. Secondary wise, we'll have to be really sharp, try to lock down Burden and try to lock down Theo Weiss. Offensively, just more consistency from not only drive to drive, but just quarter to quarter, just keep getting more comfortable with the play calling of Joe John, keep getting just keep having positive drives, positive plays. I think Jackson Arnold has really, ever since he's come off the early season benching, I think that he's done an outstanding job coming back and, really, putting a fire under this offense. And uh, it'll be a really tough game, obviously, but offensively, I'm looking for just consistency, not just one drive looking like the best drive that we've had all year, and then going back to doing what we've done the majority of the year, the very next drive. Just
Yeah.
consistency. Defensively, because guys, like I've said all year, we're not going to stop everybody every single drive. Okay, we're not. We're going to give up plays. It's
Well,
just if you give up a play, are you going to be able to maybe hold them to a field goal? Or when you do give up a play, are you going to give up that same play later in the game? The same route concept or something? Or are you going to be able to make adjustments? That's going to be kind of the
all right. I got something for you. And you're gonna hear it here first. There's gonna be a moment in the game where we hit Brennan Thompson deep, finally, on a go route because we have more threats on if Burks and Farouk can play the full game and, you know, hypothetically 100% healthy,
Mhm.
then we're gonna get Brendan Thompson deep. There's gonna be too many threats on the outside. I mean,
I
that's
I
given
I
that Arnold has enough time.
I agree with you. Now,
Yeah.
any defensive coordinator in America will tell you that the more weapons that you have, if you've got weapons all over the place, you can only defend
Oh yeah.
you can only defend so many guys and you can only defend for so long. So eventually someone's going to get, break open free.
Oh
So
yeah.
it's just like a chess game. What are you willing to get hurt with? Are you willing to get hurt with the underneath stuff? Are you willing to give up something over the top? Like it's just there's no stopping everything. It's just not possible. You can't defend everything. So are you willing to give up that underneath stuff? Are you willing to give something up over the top? Or do you think that your safety can get there or not? I mean, it's just so like you said, I mean, I agree. I mean, I think, having those two guys is probable, which is good. Having those guys maybe back this Saturday will be big time. Will they, what percentage will they be at?
Yeah. I mean, we
They
don't
won't
know
be,
yet. We'll
they
see.
won't, they won't
I
be at
mean,
100. So
they'll be on a pitch count for sure.
they'll be on I mean, they'll be not at 100. So it'll be interesting to see. But like you said, you get more weapons, makes it hard to cover, makes it real hard to cover. So,
I mean, I've been pleased with Jacob Jordan,
oh yeah,
and
stepped up big time. Stepped
I
up big.
mean, even Hessner, man. He's he's performed when he has to,
Yeah.
which is all you can ask. Obviously, you would like for guys to create more space, get open more often. But I mean, I've been pleased with both of those guys. Um,
That'll be a big game for him also, going back
yeah.
to Missouri. So
All right, guys, we got about 1 minute left. It looks like 20. We're at 29. So,
All right. So
um,
to wrap this out,
we would be a terrible college football show if we did not say RIP to Ben.
oh,
God,
dude,
it's terrible.
Man.
Yeah,
man,
that was like the saddest story of college football today. Rip
yeah.
Every
R.I.P.
part today.
R.I.P. Ben Herbstreit.
Ben
Hey,
Herbstreit.
this one goes out for Ben then.
This one's for Ben. Yeah, for
This for
sure.
Ben.
For sure, for sure. Well, big time game on Saturday, obviously. Very interesting to see the different things that are going to take place. Very helpful. As hopefully we'll have a big time performance that'll kind of catapult us into the little latter half of this season. And who knows? Who knows what could
Who
happen?
knows how we finish?
Who knows what happens? But it starts on Saturday with a win against Missouri. And it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot. We got 10 minutes left. Actually, I lied. So we got
I
time.
don't know.
Yeah, we
For
got
some
plenty of
reason,
time.
We're good. We got
for some
time.
reason, it never shows me
I
anything.
know it shows me on my screen, but I'm just like, okay.
It finally
Yeah.
shows.
Shoot, man, 10 minutes left. Uh, I mean, let's talk about the storm of the week. I mean, I don't know how much we watched last week, how many games you guys watched last week, but uh, Indiana's been on a roll, continued to
Uh,
be on a roll.
I'm gonna hate to do this one. It makes me sick to my stomach to even.
Oh, please
It
don't.
makes me sick to my stomach, and I don't want to do it, but I've got to throw it out there, man.
Beamer ball?
No, I got to throw this out there, and it's gonna be very unpopular, but Ohio State goes to Beaver Stadium last week, and I know Penn State, they're not. I mean, obviously, they're not as good as everybody thought they were. I mean, they're still pretty good. Don't get me wrong. Offensively, are they as good as we thought they were? No, but Ohio State, man, going into Beaver Stadium, which no matter if it's day or night, is one of the toughest places to play.
Oh, yeah.
And, all three phases: special teams, offense, defense. Defensively, they shut Penn State down. Penn State did not have. Uh, I don't. I don't think they had an offensive touchdown. I don't think they did. I don't know that. I don't remember. If they did, they only had
They
one.
did.
They had one maybe, but
Yeah.
they didn't. They were not productive on offense. And then
It was a close
offensively
game.
for Ohio, it was a close game. It was 20-13 or whatever it was. But man, I'm telling you, just the execution Ohio State had there. Just when they needed to get a big play, they got a big play. When they needed a first down, they got a first down. And it was a good game. It was a really good game. And the brilliant mind of Chip Kelly calling great plays for the Buckeyes. Again, hate to say that, but that's
Well, they
just
needed a big game. If Ryan Day dropped that one, I mean,
Ryan
he
Day. I'm
probably is
telling
not going
you,
to have a job next year.
he's yeah, he's hitting that.
And imagine being in a spot like that where, you know, pretty consistently you're a one loss, two loss team.
Yeah, but those two losses come against some of your bigger rivals, and
Oh,
you miss
100%.
out on Big Ten championships, and you miss out
What is
on.
he? Is he 0-3 versus Michigan?
He's 0-3. He's got to get a win against Michigan this
Yeah,
year.
if he doesn't get a win
When's the
against
last time he
Michigan,
beat
Telling you,
Ohio
man.
State?
I'm
Oh,
telling you, man.
I'm thinking about Penn State's coach.
It's the
Sorry.
same thing that Barry Switzer said. He said you can go 0 and whatever against everybody else, but if you do not beat, and he said this back in the Big Eight days, if you don't beat OSU and you don't beat Texas, you will not have a job the next year at OU. If on the ladder, if you beat OSU and Texas, but you lose to everybody else, you will be employed the very next year because you beat the two biggest rivals of the school. So it's kind of that, and I hate to say that, it's kind of like a because everybody hates to lose, but it's just like, man,
You telling me Venables has he doesn't get it done next year against Texas?
that's not what I'm saying at all. That's
I
not what
know,
I'm
I
saying at
know.
all. The times have changed since then by far. The times have.
I would say if we, no, I'm not gonna open up that can.
I'm not opening that can. I'm with BV all the way, man. We're gonna get this
No,
thing
I am too.
done.
I
It's
am.
year one in the toughest conference in football. We've been dealt probably the worst injury plague of any team in the country, and
Been bad.
you know, it is what it is. We're gonna keep getting better and keep making strides, and who knows? Next year we're gonna be right in the thick of it. I'm real
Oh,
hopeful.
I agree. I mean, even if you look at,
We
okay,
definitely win those games that
I'm gonna put on my rose-colored glasses real quick, but man, if you look at the Tennessee game, we came
Tennessee.
out we came out strong on defense. I mean, the whole game they played
Mhm.
strong. You put some of those weapons on the outside with Arnold. I know
Oh yeah.
he played a lot. I mean, he had mistakes, and we had opportunity. I mean, especially we had multiple turnovers on our side of the field that were, you know, we forced on Tennessee that we could have capitalized on. But that's beside the point. The Tennessee game, the Ole Miss game, because I think the Ole Miss game was, I mean, it was a 12-point game.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Big time.
Both of those games are 12-point game.
Those games were
So
cool. Like
yeah,
with
both of those games are winnable. If you get some help, some health back, good offensive coordinator. Not saying Joe John's been bad, but he also still has a point to prove still. Um, I mean, you get both of those things next year. I mean,
Oh,
we're
it'll
talking
be
about a
fun.
whole different
It'll be
season.
fun. Let me pick you guys' brain real quick. Just the time we got left. You know, Georgia, 7-1, number three in the country. They travel to Ole Miss this week, a 2:30 kickoff in the Grove. Georgia,
Uh,
2.5 favorite at Ole Miss.
Give me the over.
Give you the over.
Yeah, give me the over. I think Georgia by what time?
2:30, 2:30 kick in the Grove, but Georgia at
That's
Ole Miss.
pretty good. That's pretty good hostile time
It's a
period
good
still.
environment. It's a good environment.
Um, give me Georgia by 7.
I'm going to take Georgia. Georgia's the safe bet. You know, I always go with Kirby until he starts
Oh,
proving me wrong. But give me Georgia. I think Ole Miss keeps it close. You know,
they're gonna keep it. Yeah, it's
it'll
gonna
be
be
a
a
good
close game.
game.
I
Jackson
don't.
Dart and that offense is for real. Their defense, man, their defense is
Yeah, the defense is good.
pretty good at times. So give me Georgia. It'll be close. Give me, like you said, kind of a one score game probably. Colorado, Big Noon Saturday. Colorado, number 20 in the country, 6-2. They travel to Texas Tech in a Big 12
Man,
matchup and
honestly, what did you say? Big noon kickoff?
Big Noon kickoff at Texas Tech. Colorado, Coach Prime.
Oh
They
man,
go to Lubbock. Lubbock's always a fancy
I don't
place.
know. Texas Tech's got some momentum on their side after last week. Uh, man, who's favored?
Colorado by 4 right now. Right now, Colorado by 4.
I'm taking
Mm,
Colorado. They've kind of turned it around this year.
Give me Coach Prime, man. I'm with Coach Prime. I think that they've done a good job this year, and the
And
culture obviously is there. The kids have bought in. They're very
apparently,
talented.
apparently, Shadir's already going to be the quarterback for Las Vegas. So
I guess so. I mean, he said
Somebody's got
it's
to be
gonna
the
be a
quarterback of
distance,
Las
right?
Vegas.
So,
Somebody's
oh
got to do
man,
it.
yeah, heck, man, I'm telling you. Uh, hey,
that's just
speaking of
something on
that,
McAfee that I saw.
how about that matchup of Baker and the Bucks against the Chiefs the other night in the pouring down
Uh,
rain, man?
man, it
Jeez.
had to come to a coin toss again, and
Hey, just
not to mention the false start on the last play of the game. Come on, I know you saw it.
I know you saw it, Bradbury.
I mean, I saw it. I'm not going to say it, but just the guy that was supposed to see it didn't see it. So, it is what it is.
That just happens a lot for the Chiefs. It is what it is.
Hey, I mean, last week we had a we hit a 2 point conversion to take the lead against McAllister late, and there was no back judge that game, so he couldn't you couldn't tell if the receiver was on the white line of the back of the end zone or not. So,
Oh my gosh.
in my opinion, our guy was in the end zone. So, and that's what was called on the field, and that's what I'm sticking with. So,
All right, guys, we're about to be done here. So,
we got a minute 40. Last one, Alabama at LSU, really quickly.
oh, give
At
me
LSU,
At
what
LSU, 6:30 nighttime, Death Valley, Alabama at LSU.
who's favored?
Alabama by 2.5.
Give me LSU by 3.
give me Bama.
I'm gonna go with LSU also. I'm gonna go with the Bayou Bengals. Nighttime game, Death Valley, Alabama hasn't looked all that great all the time, so
I think
give
they
me
look better this week.
that. We'll see. We'll see about that. We'll see.
Hopefully somebody gets hurt for next week.
No, yeah,
Well,
Hopefully they get
yeah,
roughed up.
yeah. Hey, no, we
we
got a bye week. We got a
got a
bye.
bye. We got another bye coming. So
So
whatever.
many buys.
Yeah, buys, man. I'm telling you.
Hold on.
Uh, we got less than a minute. Well, um, I mean, I think we've covered pretty much everything that we're going to talk about. I mean,
Yeah.
pretty
Well,
much.
guys, we're hoping for a big weekend. It's gonna be a hostile environment. It's gonna be fun. But thanks for watching. I mean, continue to show the love. I know this has been new for us, but feel free to like. Um,
Subscribe,
hey,
comment, tell your
subscribe,
friends, tell
comment.
your grandpa, your
Yeah,
uncle, your
share.
aunt, whoever. I
Yeah,
mean,
share
yeah,
with your grandma.
yeah.
Get the word out. The storm's here. No, the storm's coming. The storm's still coming. But all right, guys, peace.
Peace out. Boomer.
Sooner.